over towards Banana already. Blitz, Techno to take a bit of a tussle. And Vexite's down to 20 already.
Yeah, he's lucky that that's going to be coming through from the wallbang, I think. And so does manage to survive the goosh. Blitz is also quite low, but Grayhound have sort of failed to grab any map control out of that engagement, and Blitz is going to punish Inz as he starts to try working his way up Banana, working his way into that area of the map. Another one from Blitz, and you can already tell IHC are on the prowl. Double sandbag setup is not something that you'd be expecting at this point, especially after having already taken down Blitz.
Yeah, 3B in the very beginning of this one, and you had only really seen Blitz. Techno now a bit hungry for some information. How far will he push? He will check the corner. No, Vexite's found his second. And now he's spotted Annihilation as well. This is where things maybe go a little bit more in favor of Grayhound. But Vexite with 5 HP, a third in the round. They can start to establish this bomb plant, Jordan.
Can indeed. Kabal just going to offer a tap through the smoke. It's not going to connect onto much. Scorer's working his way up Banana, but Grayhound have dug themselves out of a bit of trouble and gotten onto the B site. They have the numbers advantage for the post plant. There's not much to work with. Kabal's got a kit, but no smoke, no armor. Nothing of that sort. And they're running down that timer. Kabal needs to get in there and find this fight. Score has caught Vexite in the meanwhile. They've just got one player left to locate. That'll be Liazz at the back of the site, and they do it in spades. IHC have made that one look a bit too easy.
Yeah, rough for Grayhound in the end. 3 players, 3 different positions, and a kit as well. You know, always goes a long way in a pistol round such as that. Required in the end, in fact, for IHC to get the job done. And you just feel for all the weight that Vexite tried to carry in that round as well, right? That P250, getting 3 kills in the end. He was down to 20 HP in the very beginning of this one. So some big frags from him, unfortunately. Doesn't get the round. The force up. Who won the pistol? That's anyone's guess, of course, in these sort of situations. But we know it's IHC. We'll see if they can double down.
Yeah, AK out for Vexite, given a big job. Obviously did quite well in that pistol. Inz has been a bit deadly with that Tech 9 as well, so let's not count him out of the round. Kabal down to 48 off the nade. Brackets control heftily there for IHC. They will not be wanting to give that up. Really, really heavy presence in that area of the map, and they're also exploring Banana. Here comes Vexite, looking for the opener with that AK. Getting baited into Annihilation, and that's not going to work out well for Grayhound. Now the double stack is given away, but the information comes at a cost for Grayhound.
And Molotov as well. Going to force Sicko off the line, so it's a pretty tough decision to get back into this one. Bomb is still down. Meanwhile, Annihilation loses his life. Techno, if he's overlooked in Banana, could make things instrumentably work for Grayhounds.
Oh, well, like I said, Inz has been dangerous with the Tech 9. And that really opens the map up. It's going to force IHC to send a rotator or 2 back to B. So Score now in the pit solo is the only defender left on the A bomb site. And if that's going to be a kill cleaned up comfortably by Grayhound, again, they'll have themselves a 3-on-2 post plant. Sicko now has the AK in hand after Vexite fell. Not a bad player to use it. He's got a lot of HP. He's got armor, head armor as well. So
it's all down to timing, though. If IHC keep going down Banana, they might get Grayhound before they even get in towards brackets. And look at that, swiftly as so. Now it does shift over into IHC because you've got to dislodge the player on the side itself, take out Score, and then try to get the plant. All he has to do is distract you, really.
Well, he's kept his head down long enough to grab one. Sicko is there for the trade, and now he'll have to be there for the clutch as well. 1-on-3, and just the confidence from IHC is not really something I feel we've seen from any other team in this event so far. How fast they're going to go through the Banana, how fast they've gotten back up into the A bomb site, how decisive Blitz is to take that fight even though he's on 6 HP. They are backing themselves in this matchup, and it's catching Grayhound off guard a little.
Yeah, you just see as well that rotation from them, right? If Grayhound did just decide to go in towards the A side, have the 3 versus 1 potentially is a different round turnout, but they quickly just traverse around the map. And we're 2 rounds in, and Grayhound have already elected to choose a pause. So pressure gets a little bit high here.
Well, I mean, they would look at this and say they've had 2 winnable rounds that haven't now been converted. So even though there's probably not a lot in this round for them in terms of their cash, they're probably actually considering a little bit of a force buy through here. IHC have had to reinvest a fair amount of their weaponry. They're quite low on the cash, so 1.4k loss bonus isn't going to be enough to buy in here if IHC do lose this round. And Greyhound's kind of saying, well, what can we actually get here? Can we get Pistol's armor? Can we get a bit of util? What can we do with that? And then still ensure that we're going to get a buy through next round. Doesn't look like too much armor is going to be invested in here. Just Sicko and Liazz upgrading to the head armor. The rest of Greyhound armorless. But they have gone for, you know, something that can do a bit of damage here.
Yeah.
Good shots through from the Deagles or the Tech 9s. A little bit of util as well for Greyhound to play with. Gives them an inch into this round.
Those HE grenades that they already deployed down Banana aren't going to be rewarded in anything, unfortunately, and now they're kind of just being taken out through smokes by these A1Ss, and it's not really phasing IHC whatsoever. Just down to Ins now. We'll see if he can at least take away one frag in this round, and unfortunately for him, Kabal's going to be left on 1 HP.
Yeah. So nothing ventured, nothing gained for Greyhound, but this game is only just getting kicked off. The gun round coming up is going to be the big talking point. First chance, really, that Greyhound gets. Obviously, they've had round 1 and 2 go relatively close, but this is now where they're on even footing, where they've got the guns, they've got all the util. It's pretty much the perfect buy, actually, for Greyhound on this T side.
Because they got Alistair on the AWP now as well, so he's got his favorite weapon. See what he's going to be able to do with that one. As there's a really large stack for IHC over towards this B site. 4 players, in fact, with just Annihilation playing over towards Dig at A.
It's a big change up from Greyhound and what they'd be used to from their game yesterday against Rare Atom, where they were able to get Banana super easily without any issue pretty much at all. IHC are really putting a premium on Banana. You can already see this is now the second time Techno's gotten to the bottom of Banana, put himself in the cutout, and they're investing a lot of util into that area of the map, the CT side. So Greyhound, they have to be a little bit more careful venturing through, and yeah, I mean, they're just not getting this area of the map for free like they were yesterday against Rare Atom. Techno goes out of the smoke at the perfect time, catches himself one. Ins will have to be the difference maker here, but he holds on to the trigger finger. Unfortunately, it's not going to help out Alistair, but doubles down.
Will he expect blitz here? That's the problem in front of the smoke already. The answer is no. Now it's just down to Liazz. Has to go back to T-Stairs, get that bomb. This is your first gun round as well. You lose some members, you lose some HP before even seeing your opponents, and it just becomes all that more difficult for Liazz. We'll see if he can at least put himself in a winnable situation by finding blitz on the B site. Doesn't have any utility to assist himself. The big question is for Liazz, will he look above oranges? Will he clear out blitz? There's a lot of angles to clear going into this B site.
Ooh. Oh, I thought he had a bit of an idea, but turns away at the wrong time. And yeah, a little bit of a wry grin out there from Kabal, cheeky smile. IHC are feeling good about the progression of this game so far. Nice frag through the smoke from Kabal. Good follow-up from Techno. Their B defense, their Nana holds are looking really solid so far. And Greyhound have a lot of work to do to come back into this game. I mean, already 4 rounds in a row for IHC. Money building up on that CT side. You got 3 members, sorry, above 4K. And it has to be a save round from Greyhound. They've got the hero rifle, but it's just a Galil.
I guess one of the things to remember from yesterday was on this map versus Rare Atom, you know, they lost both pistols, the end result being 16-9.
Yep.
But Greyhound relied upon their first gun round to get them started. And for here, it didn't happen.
No, it's certainly not happening at the moment for Greyhound. They are being washed away on Inferno at the moment. Kabal gets another on the exit. It feels like nothing's coming together for Greyhound right now.
Now you're going to be walking in towards the site with more players as well. We'll see if the Galil that was invested into this round can come away with anything, but by this point in time, that's going to be a false sense of security. 25 HP for a ding on a Blintz. Just get 1 in the trade.
It's a good one too from Sicko and Ali, but ultimately it's not going to be enough to get them anywhere near this round victory. Annihilation's gone for the push on Dig side, and that, I think, can be really difficult to play against as the T side. When you have such a confident CT and they're pushing Nana on a fast timing, or they're pushing into Dig, they're getting control of brackets once again. It just doesn't really ever feel like when Greyhound takes control of an area of the map that they can actually be safe in the assumption that they're going to hold that for any period of time. Because IHC are just so confident moving around the map that they're going to take it back from you in the blink of an eye. And then you've got a guy behind you. It's happened a couple of times now on the map already. And Greyhound need eyes in the back of their heads.
Definitely feels like we won't really see Grayhound doing what Rare Adam were doing earlier today on this very map, just relinquishing control and going in a different direction. Same to be said for GGHow, right? The emphasis wasn't on the banana position for majority of time. Grayhound, a team that does like to get control of it, but the same virtue IHC on the CT side, they will fight you. They're winning these duels. They've showcased it to you already.
Yeah, observers just highlighting to us that there is a multitude of smokes over at that B site, so even though Grayhound have control of sandbags, they're still kind of locked out of the site until they've drained that util. IHC have been a little bit more passive on the A-bomb site. They've been more happy to hold toward library, toward graveyard, in pit, rather than pushing into brackets. And now, finally, Grayhound is able to strike first. Again, though, confidence play. Kabal flashes himself out onto the line and gets a double, nearly even a triple. And this is just not something we've seen from any other team.
Now, the biggest thing for Grayhound is they do get the plan. It's a 3 versus 3. They've got time to set themselves up in a post. Score's currently still over at the A site, so you would expect IHC to wait just that little bit, that extra utility that was highlighted before.
He's probably worried that someone's trying to cut his rotate off. That's not the case, as we can see, but he takes a little bit of extra time to get over toward B here. He'll be the guy to send the other two in. He's got the flashes in the back pocket. Tosses one up into the air, blitz off the back of it. We'll peek in onto Sicko. Now Liazz and Inns have to combine. One of them smoked off. It's Liazz alone, but he can win this round with a good spam through the smoke. The body block, they don't know.
Oh, he's got it!
But Liazz, he's made it happen.
Oh, but what does it cost him? What does it cost him in this round? You're on the board, you lose everybody. T-side, you know, you can get a little bit more to get everything, but I've already seen that Galil with utility, if you want to do that, we've got a player that's only going to be going in with armor and an AK-47. You've got to give it to IHC for at least finding damage where it is deployed in that round, even though they drop it.
Still, massive, massive stuff from Liazz. Really heads up as well to recognize that the first kill was not the defuser. Had to go for it again. And 5-1 the scoreline. Grayhound have their first, but is it the first of many? Or will IHC bounce back? Techno fully white, but turns back around as Kabal throws a flash in onto Liazz, and he who laughs last laughs loudest, and it was Techno in this instance that does that.
That's the first time we get the AWP out for IHC. We'll see what Annihilation's going to be able to do with that one. In through the smoke, down to 8 HP. Meanwhile, Annihilation did find Alistair, so whilst Grayhound get one on the board, the next one's just completely stolen away before they had a chance.
Yeah, look, the grim reality of it really is that Grayhound gets through that last round in a streaky fashion. They rely on an individual play, and that's not going to be enough to beat IHC right now, who are on all facets beating out Grayhound. Look at how cleanly they're getting through this one. Kabal to finish off Sicko. And it's just the perfect response from IHC. They are proving they are the better team in this matchup right now. When you go down, you lose a round like that, you go, whatever. We're breezing through this half and instantly bounce back. It's an even worse feeling for Grayhound because they would have thought that was their inroad into the half. And once again, they're back onto a save.
It's going to be that spiral that they can hopefully get themselves out of. Because if you do find yourself between guns and between pistols, well, you know, the map's just going to get away from you. This shot from Annihilation to start things off, but for these sort of rounds, you know, you just don't want to be too overzealous. Don't give the pistols an opportunity. Good HE grenade onto Kabal, but once again, IHC down towards Banana. Really want to make it their home in these situations.
Where's the map control, though, from Grayhound? What are they going to be able to take? Impossible, really, to get Banana at this point. Very difficult to take brackets now. Obviously, Annihilation watching that with the AWP, and you don't have a smoke to smoke him off. You've got no flashes to layer over the top. So getting into either of these bomb sites feels almost impossible for Grayhound with the utility that they've got, let alone the weaponry as well. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. The best choice you've got is to try to just shoulder around that corner, and ultimately Annihilation's too good to let that opportunity go begging.
And even the extra utility after. You know, it's being played to perfection at the moment from IHC in this round, just not giving Grayhound a chance. As they do manage to sneak up Dig just a little bit. That HE grenade is going to take Vexite, extra on a Sicko and Liazz. Alistair now down half as well, so things are just crumbling. But as I say that, 3 versus 3, a chance for a bomb plant here at least.
Well, that's what Grayhound had to rely on. Some good shots to get themselves into the bomb sites, and they've provided. 11 HP, 14 HP, and 38. It doesn't leave you with a whole lot to work with on the behalf of Grayhound. Liazz is just toying with Annihilation at the moment. Sicko's picked up an M4. Is there a world where we get a bit of Grayhound magic? Techno drops Liazz, but still 2 to find. 1 in pit, 1 on the site. Sicko's dealt with Annihilation. Makes it look possible, but Ali is holding on to only a Glock. He pulled off some magic yesterday. Can he do it again? Headshot onto Kabal, but Techno pre-fire around the corner is too much, and IHC will win the round. It's an expensive one, but they have money to burn, and 7-1. It's another one that goes the way of the Mongolian squad.
Bit unfortunate for Sicko in that situation when he does find one player over towards the library. The second one popping out of apartments in the nick of time just catches him in the air. So, you know, these rounds that are getting very close for Grayhound, IHC are winning just narrowly. I got to say, Alistair gave me a bit of a hope with that frag there, but unfortunately, an AK-47 when you've got, what, 14, 15 HP, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he just needed, you know, an extra couple of seconds to work with there. If there was 2 seconds less on the timer, Alistair might win that. Tucks himself into the corner. He knows he can't really swing and try and take that fight with a Glock. Never going to win it. You know, even if he's got like maybe a P250, you almost give him a chance, but certainly not with the Glock. 7-1 the scoreline. IHC will reinvest and go down to not a whole lot of cash, but probably still enough to put together a reasonable buy next round, especially if guns are saved through. So the well hasn't really dried up just yet, even though Grayhound have been tapping into it a little. Another good attempt for Grayhound in this time, this 9th round.
Back towards a bit of a default protocol for Grayhound. Meanwhile, on IHC, they're going in for a bit of a brackets play. The boost on top of the porch, score underneath. You got Techno over at Dig as well, watching the apartments wrap out. So, a really strong position that IHC have provided themselves here. And some nice timing on that smoke at the top of mid will force Grayhound's hands to not be able to traverse in towards brackets. And maybe that's a good thing, given from our armchair position at the moment, that we can see what IHC do have up their sleeve.
This is an interesting hold from IHC. Both of them in the smoke. It's not quite going to work out. Vexite and In's prepared, and they're able to trade down.
Do you expect 2 players here, though, still?
Not sure that you do. Especially not someone boosted up on the dig roof. Bal and Techno to try to hold on. Techno already doing well. Drops the bomb. Catches Ali as well. And they have not spotted Kabal up on the porch. And Liazz on 6 HP. He can't get himself out of this one now. Surely going to be seeing a nade fly over the top. 30 seconds. Can Liazz drag Grayhound kicking and screaming through another round?
Be a bit of a miracle, and
No
it's not going to
way.
happen either. It just feels like there was a little bit of a disconnect from Greyhounds when they do swing out in towards Dig. Ali caught looking a little bit lost.
Well,
looking around, trying to look at the site itself.
Yeah, like you said, they're probably not expecting 2 players there.
Yep.
The fact that Techno gets the first shot so cleanly onto Sicko kind of throws a bit of a problem in here, because Ali's expecting to have a bit of a look at the site. Liazz is a bit more worried about the pit. It's not an easy angle to win an aim duel with an AWP either.
Those situations where the call and the structure from IHC at the very beginning reaps a good reward for not really having to do too much, it would feel like. Right now, flashes down Banana, however, are still favouring the way. Vexite's been hard done by.
Yeah.
He wasn't even the intended target, and immediately IHC, player advantage, still control of Banana, and Apartments look from Annihilation on the AWP. It's a missed shot.
Yeah, but IHC have the golden touch at the moment. Anything that they touch, it's turned into gold. It doesn't really matter what they're doing, where they're fighting, where they're contesting. And even if they're losing some of these early fights, they have that clutch power and the individual prowess at the moment that's getting them through rounds.
There's an opportunity for Sicko here in CT spawn, but I think Blitz is already looking after that one. Already aware of the fact where the gaps are on this CT side. You've got Kabal pushing down bottom of Banana. Greyhound is completely locked in towards Dig brackets.
Yeah. IHC are just taking so much space so quickly, and they're getting all the info. They know exactly where Grayhound is at all times.
Yep. And Kabal's even playing safe. He's fallen back towards B, realizing that they've got a 2-player advantage. Don't give Grayhound the back in to not only just this round, but maybe even that half.
Well, Grayhound are going to start to work their way back up Banana. They'll take their time clearing this out as well. An IHC member could be hiding anywhere.
How do you get him out of dark, though? 30 seconds, your focus of that smoke may be towards CT, and then you try to clear coffins, new box, oranges.
Just gonna have
too
to be,
many positions.
It's going to have to be that smoke in towards CT, and then Liazz is just going to have to hard clear the site. Like, there's no other option right now.
And by that time,
they're going to have to just forget about it and hope that there's no one at back of sight. It's not obviously the option in the end, as Liazz does go down, and Grayhound are going to rely on Alistair to save the AWP. But it's a bitter pill to swallow for Grayhound, as IHC will go up to 9 and 1 round away from double digits. This has not been a contest so far in the upper bracket final. IHC are proving to be the #1 team at yet another RMR. This one, the IEM Road to Rio. And they'd go back-to-back if they were to walk out in first place here.
Well, by the way that they've been playing this map so far, certainly does give good confidence for them. You know, there's always a chance for Grayhound to get back into this one, but it certainly has to be a wake-up for them. See if Alistair's AWP can be potent in towards this round, otherwise IHC will be finding double digits, and the rest of the weaponry for Grayhound doesn't really provide a lot of that power. You know, we know players are really good with these deagles, but when IHC are firing on full cylinders like they are right now, it's going to be hard to stop them. That is a good start, though. Alistair, 2 towards... That's B. It's open.
That's a very good start indeed, and this now has to be a round that Grayhound converts. Surely can't go wrong here. I'm gonna stop talking though, because I did curse him a couple of times yesterday against Rare Atom, and I'll try not to do that again.
See if Blitz is going to be able to find anything. A couple of low players as well will make it potentially easier if he does lose his life for his teammates to clinch this one out.
Yeah, it was a good flash onto him, but he's managed to get back into a really sizable position and does a significant amount of damage to Vexite.
3 players of Grayhound are really low at the moment. The HE grenade from Score can finish them off. The Incendiary can get them within a tick or two if they choose to go for it right now, because it is a 2 versus 4 at the end of the day.
Doesn't want it.
Yeah.
He does not want a bar of it. If IHC knew the HP numbers, maybe they'd give that grenade a crack, but it looks like Grayhound will get through this one. No caster curse this time.
Nope, just some classic Aussie CS where you've got pistols, but it's at the end of the day not the pistols that actually get things done in that round. It's Alistair taking point with an AWP.
They may not get out with all of these guns though.
No, absolutely
Score at the bottom of Nana, he's going to have an absolute field day. If he chucks that nade in as well, Ali would be dead, but
yeah,
it might just come down to the rifle in the end.
No
Doesn't matter, and Score's got all 4.
That's rough.
So Grayhound will win the round, but again, it's a super costly one.
I saw the dollars. They've got enough to go in with a pretty comfortable buy.
They do. But the takeaway is that it is such a grind for Grayhound to even have the remotest success in this map. They're not out of the woods yet.
6 is definitely the target, though. Is it achievable? That's up to anyone's guess.
Oh, it'd be a good shout from Grayhound if they got to 6 from now. But yeah, definitely what they're going to be aiming for. If they do, that's not a bad half, but IHC have just looked far too dominant, and Annihilation is getting pretty aggressive with that AWP.
Well, he won the duel last time in Freezer, and he's won it again, though a quick trade from Alistair on a different side of the map. He's just going to give no respect to the smoke that they've thrown themselves, and it's 3 of them.
Again, though, IHC is so fast on regathering that information, and there's no world where they don't know where Grayhound is right now. Kabal has spotted Ins in the arch, and so he recognizes there's going to be multiple Grayhound members coming toward him, playing accordingly and dealing with it as well. Bombs dropped.
Yeah.
IHC are fearless in taking map control and information, and they just don't stop. They don't give Grayhound even half a second to think or move.
And Vexite didn't even leave Banana during the whole course of that, so whilst he does find that frag onto Techno, 9 HP and a 1 versus 4 turn 3 is definitely something that's not achievable whatsoever. And as you say, the relocation from IHC has been absolutely gorgeous.
How fast does Score peek out a boiler there? See, hey, there's no one in bracket. I wonder where they could be. Maybe they went through the smoke, and Kabal's watching in CT ready for them.
Yeah.
IHC are just
really
superb.
Really prime from them at the moment that, you know, it does, I guess, if you take what we've seen right now and you look at it, what does the match after this look like, given by the fact that Gigi Howe's performance against IHC was a close one in this map too?
Look, Gigi Howe, like I said multiple times today, I'm not going to count them out.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter who they're playing against tomorrow, whether it's Grayhound or IHC. I think they can definitely cause some trouble And Techno's doing just that, running down Banana. Ins with a nice trade, even though he was flashed out. But there's still more to get through. And Kabal has just been a brick wall. 19-4 on this map. No one is getting past this guy.
Absolutely ridiculous. And it's only the first half, too. See if Grayhound can get anything with these pistols still. Although, as I do say that, there's an opportunity to find Kabal down to 11 HP now. Needs to call for his teammates to assist him. If he found
really
one,
well done.
that would have been big for him.
That's really well done from Grayhound. They know that by virtue of that tag on the way out, he's not going to be able to get deep into the site. He rushes the smoke, and Grayhound just goes straight through it. And they know he's going to be close, so they're able to take him down really easily. But the round's not yet over. Score 1 for 1. Annihilation does know where Liazz is, and he's going to hard clear the corner. But again, it's Liazz that will do the work for Grayhound. He's been the standout on this map so far. They have another round.
Yeah, but what can you really take from that? It's another pistol round that Grayhound get. It's not the gun rounds that needs to be the rounds that they are converting here to have a sensational half, to have even a comfortable remote chance of coming back in the half, because it's 10-3 right now. We've got a pause to come through from Grayhound once again. It's their third that they've elected to utilize.
They've got none left really for the second half, do they? I mean, yeah, they've got one, but like, if this ends up being a closer affair, for example, IHC are going to be the team that has a lot more time to think in the second half when the pressure really is on. It's a great shot from Liazz to get them into the site. Good follow-up onto Kabal, and then he wins the fight against these two players on the retake as well. He's pretty much done it on his own. Big round from him. 10 on the board, though, for IHC, double digits.
Yeah.
Grayhound would not be wanting to see that go any further.
It's a very workable scenario, though, that Grayhound can make a 10-5 half out of this one. The buy isn't the greatest for IHC in this. You got Annihilation with the AWP, Score with the L1S, and then it just trickles down a little bit worse there. And currently that AWP is over towards A. The rotation does start to happen for IHC, and they've completely relinquished control of Banana at the moment. So Grayhound, it's a bit of a different look in the round for them. Have to piece together a lot of information on where IHC are going to be playing. What does the buy actually look like?
Not very good is actually the answer. Got the Mag 7 for Kabal. He's been a big fan of picking that up. Saw it a fair bit in their game yesterday.
The problem is they're walking in towards the vicinity of this AWP, and all Annihilation needs to do is find one, and it might give a false sense to Grayhound of what this purchase actually looks like.
That's right. Grayhound are playing it quite slowly, though, and showing a bit of a tendency to go back toward the B site. We might actually see that Mag 7 get involved. It's not exactly the staunchest of defenses. Mag 7 and 5-7 for IHC over on B. But those are powerful weapons in the right positions, and you'd have to make the argument that these are the right positions. 5-7 to spam through the smoke, Mag 7 to play close. Util's gone through very nicely, though, from Grayhound, and it looks like they're into the site okay.
Oh, hang on a second. Score's getting boosted up. He's got a lot of opportunities here to dislodge, but it's only good for one. Now, Techno there as well. This is where things get a little bit rickety. However, the dust will start to settle. And Grayhound, again, in a 3 versus 2 situation, have a chance to find their perfect positions for this post plant.
Yeah, I think Blitz is probably just going to want to grab himself a gun and get out of there. Money's not great for IHC. Loss bonus isn't really building up just yet either for him. And it's the last round of the half, so if he can get the M4, the defuse kit, and get out of there, that's going to be a big play from him.
Yeah.
Really bolsters the buy next round for IHC, which already is going to look quite awkward.
Well, they've already done what they needed to in this half, essentially, right? They've gotten double digits. They've gotten in the heads of Grayhound, who are feeling it just by showcase of those timeouts, by having 2 of these 3 rounds being won by half by pistol rounds as well. Now you finally get another one going your way, which looks a little bit better. But by that point in time, the half's done. It all changes after this next round.
All right. Grayhound might be feeling a little bit better about themselves now, having secured at least 4. Just a massive battle through the smoke in that last round, wasn't it? 10-4. Will they make 5? Grayhound gets 5. I think they can walk away from this half feeling like it's been salvaged to a degree. Once again, did mention, bit of a substandard buy for IHC in the final round, but the extra M4, that'll be a big difference maker from Blitz. He almost gets ins as well. And he doesn't get to do that if he doesn't have the M4 from the last round.
And Grayhound just not expecting that aggression immediately. Just a little bit of a push down Banana. Annihilation finds Liazz, and it's still this battle of banana that's not really working out for Grayhound. By the timing, Score just didn't spot out Sicko. It will be a big duel for Grayhound to win in this situation. 3, you call it 2.5 versus 5 players on IHC. Very difficult situation.
Yeah. Tense stuff for Grayhound. You're going to see the flash over the top again. You know, like, sure, Score goes down there, but it's really perfect timing on the peak to get the info as soon as Sicko's fallen off the line. They're just reading this play so well at the moment, IHC.
Yeah. Ali does have a smoke. There is one down in banana and one at the top of brackets as well that actually Inz is going to pick up. So they have the utility to go for a bit of an execute with 40 seconds to go. The problem is, where do you go? Your information that you gathered in the last couple of seconds, call it 20, is pretty much null and void right now. You have to win these duels, go for the contact players looking like what they're doing right now, and relying on Alistair to get a late flank potentially happening if they don't spot anything at A. Which now they do. Annihilation down to 1.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate for Grayhound that it's not converted into a kill, but Ali is trying to get into the B site. He doesn't know Techno's at Coils. Kabal might have been spotted out there with the Mag 7, but 13 seconds to get in here for Grayhound, and all it takes is Kabal through the smoke to drop the bomb carrier, and the round is done, ladies and gentlemen. The half is done. 11-4 dominance from IHC in the first half of Inferno.
We have been prepared for all teams, not specifically, because all teams can play different play style. Yeah.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out. Hold on to what you found. Days are deceiving. My head is spinning round. Oh, I hear you now. Yes, the wolves are out. Inside of our reality. Satellites singing serenity. Send out a signal, please remember me. Send out a signal, promise me.
Eleven to 4 is the scoreline, and IHC are the team to beat at the moment. Grayhound need everything they can get to get themselves back into this map and series, Komodo. It's their map choice.
Yep.
And they're down such an egregious amount of rounds that even if they do manage to come back with the pistol. It's going to be a tough road ahead. IHC are looking phenomenal, and they've also got their own map to look forward to. So
That's, yeah.
you think this is not quite do or die necessarily for Grayhound, but if they don't get it done here on Inferno, the series gets tougher from there.
Yeah, you know that IHC are going to be running in with confidence over on Mirage as well. A very, very confident Mirage team, and it's still in the back of Grayhound's mind, the upset that they would have on that map in recent time here locally. We do move into this pistol, however. Annihilation has been taken down to 1 HP. I think that's the third time that's happened in this map or something outrageous like that. But it is Sicko looking to put up a good defense over at this B site at the moment. It's going to be Ins to assist on this one outside of the smoke. But maybe it is all on to Sicko to try and get something happening more with these dualies. It's not going to happen as now the bomb plan is looking to go down.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there were still 2 defenders on that bomb site, you thought IHC was going to struggle to get in there, but they managed to do it without loss, and what was looking like a good pistol round for Grayhound now starts to shift in the opposite direction. Post plan for IHC, 3-on-2. Annihilation is 1 HP, but he can still hit heads. And Liazz is now again left alone. This is the 3rd time he's going to get a crack at a clutch, and he's been good on the conversion rate, but 12-4 is the scoreline. IHC win the pistol. And need I remind you that Grayhound has never beaten IHC on this map or indeed any map. 16-10 the scoreline the last 2 times they played Inferno against one another. I'm not even sure we're going to get to that.
No idea. No idea. This is Grayhound's arguable best map, most comfortable map. And they are 0 for 4 in the pistols that they have played over the course of this tournament so far. They lost both against Rare Atom, now they've lost both against IHC. And whilst they did win that game against Rare Atom on this map, this is not looking like a similar story whatsoever. That was 16-9. And so far, IHC, they have just looked worlds above what happened in that series, and they win this pistol. They come into this next round where Grayhound have gone for the Force. They've dropped this one, Jordan. It becomes even more difficult.
Yeah, look, it becomes nigh impossible at that point. I think we're starting to hang on tenterhooks for Grayhound right now. They've got Deagles, 5.7s, bit of util to work with. IHC not rushing things, but they've already taken control almost of the entire banana. Haven't quite cleared out Sandbag just yet, but by and large, Techno's in a really good position here for IHC. He's going to trade out positions maybe with Kabal, who does just have that Mac 10 and can be more reliably sent in to clear the angles out. Needs a headshot on the way through. Survives.
It's cheeky. See if it's going to change anything for him in the remainder of this round. You start to see a rotation from Ins, but this is a round where IHC, they're playing it smart, they're playing it passive, they know they've got better guns, don't walk into a trap.
Yep. Does prompt the re-smoke from Grayhound, and
Liazz.
IHC are back towards the A site. Liazz again strikes Deagle in hand this time. Ins can't get anything done from Arch.
There's a bit of damage though to score, which softens up 2 of these IHC members now.
Yeah, but Techno's heard that rotation, and he's going to call that out to score. They'll be pretty aware once they clear out this corner that there's going to be someone inside of Ruins. Time a factor, though, for IHC now. They've got to clear Vexite out, and they've got to do it now. Bombs dropped on the floor. Blitz has to plant. He's going to be denied.
He's by himself. There's no time.
Didn't get
There's
the
no
time,
time.
and Alistair will finish him off anyway. IHC, for the first time, kind of make a meal of it.
And for the first time, I would like to be saying that Grayhound do get around with the pistols with the Force. It's the 3rd time that they've won it. Their gun rounds are the thing that has been quite lackluster. Now is the chance for them to ensure that their CT side starts off nicely. They drop pistol, they get the second. It actually puts IHC in a bit of a worse scenario because they don't get that added bonus of that extra loss. So coming into this one now, it is going to be the Force up for IHC to get back in toward this. Actually, very interested to see what their T side does look like, given by the fact that they only need 4 rounds to close out this map. Good flash to the top of brackets. A bit of damage delivered over towards IHC so far. Blitz is going to get the bad end of that one.
Yeah, it has been a while since we had to see IHC playing with pistols only. I mean, there was a couple of instances in the last half where they had to go to a half buy with some rifles and some pistols, but just the pistols for IHC in this one. Bit of banana control again for them. Can they get into the B site with what they've got? Yes. 2 smokes and a molly. Sounds like more than enough if they're used correctly. Smoke towards CT and a smoke towards Coffins doesn't sound like a bad shout right now.
Vexite can buy a bit of time with this incendiary, get some chip damage with the HE grenade, which is going to absolutely land on Techno. And with Sicko's position as well, not going to be burning. It can be a pretty wise one later on. Techno has walked into that molly.
Look, I can understand why IHC wants to pick the pace up there. They know they're on a timer. They know that once their smokes fade and their molly fades, their chances of getting into the B bomb site are significantly diminished. But I'm not sure that running straight into a molly and dying to it
Well, you give over less money.
is really going to help. So, all right. Bit of a freebie there for Grayhound in the end.
5 alive. That'll go away as well.
Should be a save as well from IHC coming through.
Winning that one is pretty much guaranteed the 2 for Grayhound. So the chance to, make it 12-7, bring it within 5. You win your first big gun round that you're going to see against IHC's T side. You do start to then wonder, all right, does this CT side hold a little bit more weight to it? Do we get the Grayhound that we were kind of expecting coming into this series? Because we're getting the IHC that we were expecting. We're getting the IHC that's looking, major ready. Good grenade from Sicko. Blitz from IHP to 0.
Yeah. This should just be a clean round from Grayhound. They need to keep 5 guns alive. Build a bit of confidence back up. It's not an unassailable lead.
Yeah.
But to do that on the CT side is going to require a strong economy, because at some point you're inevitably going to lose a round, or there's going to be close, tight rounds against a team like IHC. So you need to build that buffer up, and this is the round to do it in. Inns would be the perfect player to answer this call. And that's exactly what you want. 3 kills on the MP9. SMG gives you a bit of extra cash. And Grayhound, well, they've started their campaign on the CT side.
Now's the big test, though. Now is the time that IHC bring up the big weaponry and see what they want to be going for. Their CT side positions, their protocols on that side of the map were awesome. I looked towards the 4-player stack that they had over towards A. It didn't even look like Grayhound had an in that round whatsoever. So I'm wondering what sort of CT side do we get from Grayhound now that they're challenging up against the rifles? And really, for me, what does the T side bear for IHC right now? What have they been able to figure out from GH so far? An apartments play seems to be the lay of the land for IHC at the moment. If you continue to go to that, you walk into Ali's AWP.
Yeah.
That can be scary and a way in for Grayhound.
Even though he's 9 and 13 right now, he's been quite good with the AWP. Liazz as well peeks off the contact, and that's gone horribly wrong for IHC. Grenade does get the trade back onto Liazz, but of course, Alistair survives. So overall, 1 for 2. Grayhound will be happy with that. And even better, Kabal drops to Inns as he walks his way out from Boiler. This almost looked perfect for Grayhound. Alistair decapitated by Annihilation, who is a scary prospect.
You got to be careful here, though. Inns needs to get at least 1, and he does manage to do so. They know where Blitz is. He's just peeking out the pillar a little bit too much, and now the shifting tides are starting to happen. Blitz, a 1 versus 1 on towards Sicko, but look where the bomb is. Does Sicko spot that one? Is it up in
I
apps?
don't think so.
It is in apps.
I don't think so. Liazz would have had to have gotten that info way earlier on in the piece, and Blitz, he has been the pick of the bunch for IHC, really in this event so far. Stood head and shoulders above the rest, and it's been Kabal and Blitz today for IHC that have performed. So he's a really reliable member to have in this clutch. He's going to make noise dropping out of pit, and whether or not he does that quickly enough is a big factor in this round. Sicko's creeping his way forward.
He's doing it perfectly.
Could this be 5,000 IQ from Blitz? He turns around and wins the 1v3. How does he know?
What idea do you have to recheck that situation? There are so many different angles that Sicko can come and try to win that round from. He could even rotate over towards B.
Yeah, I mean, this looked like it was going to be the perfect round for Grayhound. And then this one shot from Annihilation onto Alistair, I feel, is kind of what opens it up. If Annihilation goes down there, it's Blitz in a 1v4. And look, I mean, I wouldn't have backed him to convert a 1v3, but a 1v4 is another step above that as well.
Yeah.
Timeout comes through. Bit of a chat. IHC have got a very important round there, but they've got one more really before they break Grayhound. Grayhound, they've got themselves one more chance here.
Yeah.
If it goes to 14-7, though, money's gone for Grayhound.
It's the biggest thing, isn't it? Grayhound need that essence of padding. They need that essence of not seeing IHC get to that map winnable spot without having a state of economy. You want to see them get double digits as well before that potential happens. You got Galil's on IHC's side at the moment with a bit of utility.
I like this. Try to enable Alistair. He's been really impactful on this map.
Oh, it's a bit of a risky jump though. And how long do you choose to stay over at the top of Banana?
Yeah, how much has he studied the school of Ricky as well? How much do you spam through that wall? Not a whole lot, according to Alistair. Not that it's really going to convert into too much now. But IHC have drawn a fair bit of the CT util out already.
That would have been a big pick. Just a missed one. Needs to be really careful that he doesn't allow the T's to just walk up that side wall, get the better of him. He still does have some assistance in the form of Vexite.
He just wants to keep going, doesn't he? You can really see Alistair trying to force the issue over there at Banana, but IHC have other ideas. They've headed to bracket. Liazz with the spam
nade.
a little bit too early. The nade, though, perfectly timed.
Cheeky boost up as well, but what is it going to be able to provide for Inns at the moment? Can he spot over this one? Kabal's looking after that, and that is very unfortunate for Grayhound at the moment. The spray doesn't go the way of Sicko, and it's IHC winning all the jewels necessary to try and convert this into a 14th round.
You have to save here as Grayhound. They don't have the money to buy into the next. It's a 1900 loss bonus for them. It's not going to be enough money unless they save these weapons. That's going to give IHC 14, though. It won't be the economic reset that IHC was looking for that pretty much would have given them the map, but 14-7, you know, you're one round away pretty much from getting things done then, because if they do go on to win the next round, the money bonus hasn't really still built up enough for Grayhound to give them a fighting chance to fight for overtime. Grayhound are really just on the edge. They're hanging on by their fingernails, and IHC are walking up, ready to sink the boot in.
They need a helping hand, but unfortunately no one can really give it to them right now. 14-7. Any mistakes from here can put you a map down. And I guess they do have the saving grace of a lower bracket game as well tomorrow if they do end up losing. But against an on-form GG How, it's going to be another big challenge that you have to go up against.
Taking a moment to recompose them. This is the final timeout that Grayhound have available to them. So it's going to have to be a bloody good one. Conversation to be had. How do we get 7 rounds in a row? How do we get 9 rounds in a row? That's pretty much what they need to do. Otherwise, we go into a Mirage, which is a choice of IHC, with a very confident IHC as well. Good buyout for Grayhound, but again, I will highlight, they don't have a lot of money here. So if they lose this, it's probably a death sentence for the map.
It's not even 4 pieces of utility for everybody on Grayhound either, so a little bit of extra for the next round. See if you can provide yourself at least something if you do lose this one. But the damage that's been done already, Techno down to 10 HP. You got a little bit of this banana control that you're still going to leave Vexite there. Alistair, go in for the apartments peak. So they're trying to feel across the map. And maybe a default at this point in time might not be the answer. You got that rotation happening over towards the A side now too for Sicko. So they're really just hedging bets that it is going to, something's going to happen over at this A side. A challenge, a win, a duel. It doesn't go their way.
Something did happen on the A side, I'll tell you that. Score, I feel like he hasn't really activated yet in this event, but he is also one of my favorite players from the Mongolian region. He is an absolute nutcase sometimes. And that is a little bit of a glimmer of what you might get from him if IHC makes it to the major. He's a really good player.
Sicko needs one more.
Drops to Sicko, and you're right, he does. He gets it, but Score finding the trade. Can't go for more, surely. Not Ins down as well.
They already spotted Liazz over at the balcony as well, so they know another players towards this side of A. They know that Vexite is probably going to be that B player. They know time and time again that he is, he's a new addition. We'll see how he is going to handle things by himself. This 1 versus 2. See if he can at least get it. There's the first one and the second. He's bunkered it down.
I was going to say,
provided an opportunity.
It's winnable for Vexite. He is a bit of a prodigy coming through from the ANZ region. Pushes Score forward. But then again, you've got a prodigy coming through from the Mongolian region as well in Score. It's a 1v1. Liazz has the HP advantage, but Score, time on his side, has that bomb plant. Down goes for the peak. Liazz will keep it alive for Grayhound.
That would have been an ace to Score as well. Mind you, the dirty one to come out onto Vexite in that situation, just going through the flames, very ambitious, but he gets the job done. 4-4, it's a little bit unfortunate, but
Yeah.
for the Greyhound fans out there, it's not that 15 that backs them so far into the corner.
Well,
They're a little bit out.
You got to give some credit to Vexite there. Winning the 2-on-1 duel on B is really what let that one go the way of Greyhound. He hasn't had any, like, I don't think big clutches so far in this event, Vexite, but
He did
he's
have that
had-
3K spray down.
Yeah, but he's had a lot of like really impactful mid-round
Yeah.
kind of plays. That's
Yeah.
more so what I'm getting at. So we haven't, talked about him in that respect where we say like, oh, Inns and Alistair pulling off those clutches against Rare Adam. Vexite's been getting it done a little bit earlier, and Sicko now as well stepping up. Greyhound are not done yet.
They're biting back a little bit in this one. Bomb at least retrievable for Annihilation, but Sicko looking for an ace of his own. Score now in a 1 versus 4 turned into 3. It would be a big round to come out from him.
I mean, what
I
killing blow.
almost feel capable, like to a degree.
I feel possible for Score, and what a killing blow it would be for Greyhound if he did win this one. It'd be a 1-on-4. A second big clutch for IHC if he does convert it. Alice is in a good spot, bit of an off angle. Shoulder check from Score though, and he'll back himself into that fight. AK versus Famus every day. It does cost him a lot of HP, but look, it puts him in a position that could make this round winnable. If he can get the bomb down and get off the site, he can win it. But he's taking his time clearing the site out, waiting to see if there's going to be any peek from Greyhound. And in that time, he's giving Vexite and Liazz the opportunity to rotate across.
Yeah.
And even though he'll probably get the bomb down here, it really restricts his options in terms of getting off that site safely. He can't do anything too crazy. We'll get into pit, but I feel like this is a fairly expected position for Greyhound.
Well, they'll know that he is relatively low from that Famus that did get a bit of damage out to him. It's just for Liazz and Vexite. Do they play element of surprise or drop util? It's going to be the latter.
I don't know about that. This smoke could potentially help Score. If they don't clear pit and run that timer down, it now starts to become a winnable round for Score. He can spam through the smoke, rotating his position in pit. He's behind the smoke. It's a winnable round. He gets Vexite, but Liazz,
Is there time?
just in time, I think, has got it done. There's fist bumps on the stage, Komodo. Round 1 by Greyhound. 14-9, and they hang on.
They're not making it look easy. That is for certain. IHC are giving a good challenge.
And this is why Liazz has that Clutch Master title within the ANZ region. I feel a bit silly every time I bring it up because it's kind of like talking about the past, right? When he used to play on Kings and even before he went over to Renegades and played internationally, he was the guy that in a 1v3 you'd go, yeah, Liazz is just going to win it.
Yeah.
Now it's coming down to 1v1s more so, but he has been really impressive in those XVX situations, and he's been keeping it alive for Greyhound. He has been the linchpin, even though there's been good effort put in by everyone else.
But how many times can you keep asking for him to do something time and time again? You know, these rounds, whilst Greyhound are winning them, it goes back to the thing that they need to be careful of their own economy. There's going to be an apartments bust at the moment that is mopped up by the man in question. 4 quick frags, and it's just on to Blitz. It's looking very plausible for double digits. Liazz won't get his ace.
Everyone's looking for the ace, aren't they? But no such luck this time. They won't want to be giving Blitz too many opportunities because he's liable to grab a couple more heads, do a lot of economic damage, which will still be a problem for Greyhound. Should not be a winnable round, though. Crowd is starting to get a little bit involved now as well. I feel like there's a little bit of belief that maybe Greyhound can do this. So every time you see a big round coming through from Greyhound, there is a bit of a cheer. And I think that will be spurring them on as well.
Sicko's going to be spotting Blitz here. I guess the pass mark for this round is going to be just to find him and not lose another soldier. If he takes away the AK, that's fine. You know, other purchases coming around the corner for IHC. Big thing for Greyhound here is that they do get double digits. You talked about the 7 rounds they need in a row to tie things up. You talk about the 9 then to win it in regulation. Well, they've gotten 3 out of those 7/9.
Yeah. I mean, they're not even halfway yet.
Yep.
But dare I say it starts to look doable.
Oh. I think the next gun round for IHC is really going to be the tell. If Greyhound can win that one, you know, it's back toward the pistols.
Sure.
Given max loss bonus, they can go in with a bit of a, extra utility, upgraded pistols for sure, but That next one is really going to be a good tell.
Yeah.
It'll bring Grayhound within 1, within 2, depending on the buy that IHC do choose to go for.
It's a conversation that crops up a lot, though, when we're talking about Grayhound. They are a tenacious team. They will never give up, and we saw that yesterday against Rare Atom on Vertigo. They did not let that game slip away.
Yeah. Mind you, Grayhound don't have any timeouts to discuss these situations, too. They've
That's
used
true.
them all.
Yeah, I mean, and we highlighted that at the start of the map. They had to go through 3 of their timeouts in that first half trying to salvage anything. But, as you say, this gun round, an important one. Alistair's on a FAMAS.
It's going to be a cheeky boost for Vexite getting up on top. Will they expect Techno to already be this close? That's an audible sound cue. Gives away something to Techno. It's going to bait out some utility. IHC have banana control now.
Score, is he thinking about that wall bang? Not yet.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Couple of shots fired. He's given away his position. Now would be the time to do it if he was going to, but looks like he's just backing off. So Liazz will be okay. Up on the roof.
Molotov's not going to isolate them too hard. Doesn't land on top. So for Greyhound's 3 towards the A site, they will live to tell the tale. But when do you decide to cheat over a rotation? You've got no control, no information rather, towards what's happening
There's
over
so
at Banana.
much util.
Yeah.
Look at how much util is still there on the ground for Vexite to pick up. There's a smoke and a Molotov still in his back pocket. Zico not holding on to anything.
A 2 versus 5 though at the moment if IHC did decide to go in. So finally that rotation does happen for INS.
But it's going to be a re-smoke coming through here from Vexite, surely. No, the Molotov does go down. That's what he wanted to prioritize, and fair enough. 1 for 1 on the entry.
Team kill.
It is. Zico still at the back of sight, his position known, but ends up on the flower pots. Was not spotted. Annihilation!
Uh-oh.
Where has that come from? It's 24 HP for him. And maybe a winnable round for IHC if they can get the bomb plant down, but Vexite's still close.
Liazz is going to be coming over towards CT. Where does he fancy putting a HE grenade, if at all? You've got a player advantage, a smoke for Vexite as well if you want to get that on toward the bomb. You've got to start to clear out the site. There's that HE. It goes over towards Nubox, but it doesn't get the killing blow.
It's drawn out the peak from Blitz, though, so they're going to know where he is. Annihilation is going to be the X factor, but there's really nowhere else for him to be on the bomb site. They've cleared everything. Grayhound will win another. 1 step closer to equalizing.
That was the gun round, Jordan, that I was talking about. That's the one they needed to convert on over to get, a semblance that this comeback is doable right now. 14-11.
Yep.
It depends on what purchase IHC is going to come into this round with. Of course, the bomb plant helps a little bit extra with the locks bonus that they do get provided into this next one. And with 2 members of Grayhound surviving, it doesn't phase them too hard because they started to build up a bit of economy on this CT side.
Yeah. That said, it is still IHC's map to lose. Like, let's not lose sight of that. 3 rounds the advantage for them. It has been tough going in this second half, but they've built themselves enough of a lead that even though Grayhound is going on this nice streak, IHC, they get to the point where the loss bonus is starting to build up. If they get bombs down, they're going to be able to continually buy into these rounds, and all it takes is just one little mistake from Grayhound. IHC wins 1 round, they confirm overtime at least.
This buy sounds to me as well that they've got an idea of how to win this. You got a Mac 10, you got a Tech 9. You now have a grenade that is taking away a significant amount of damage. I actually think that changes things. Will Grayhound be ready for this haste?
They haven't slowed down at all, have they, IHC? Straight up into brackets. They're onto the site already. Grayhound are locked out of their own site by smokes.
There's a lot to still go as well. 3 smokes that IHC have held onto. This is a 5 versus 5 retake. This is going to look very tricky.
It's a very safe plant, though, from IHC. The pit players will be happy with it, but it doesn't really give you a whole lot of room to work. Grayhound, though, a fast rotate from them, and a good old-fashioned 5v5. This is going to be a big round for Grayhound as they set up for the retake. 4 through bracket side, 1 through Moto. Zico's already gained a lot of map positioning, but as you said, smoke's still available for IHC, and Grayhound has to go. Annihilation finding the first. Trade's not coming through quickly enough yet from Grayhound. IHC have done it, and Grayhound will now have to face map point.
I told you that IHC had a plan going into that round with the purchase, that they gave themselves a quick one in that, and it was the thing that did it. That's 15 now. That's map point for IHC. And at the end of that one as well, yes, the bomb explodes and takes a couple of IHC members with it.
They don't care.
But no, that's exactly right. What a round to come through. It's not every day that you do get a round as quick as that on the A side of Inferno, of all things.
Grayhound maybe just overthinking it a little bit on the retake. You know, they sort of played themselves out of that round with the time. Didn't get in there quickly enough, and now they are staring down the barrel of a defeat on map 1. It's been a solid effort to bring it back to where it is. Grayhound are not falling over without a fight, that's for sure. Alistair has provided the first kill in the round.
You just need to make sure that you don't fall over your own sword in this round.
Liazz, MP9 in hand, he's see score turn away, but a good position to play from with a short-range weapon. Uses it to perfection.
They've still got 3 players around this A side at the moment as well. It'll be a good one from Kabal and Annihilation to start to piece together methodically, and that's the first step. Though Alistair onto Annihilation, it all falls back onto Kabal.
Well, Kabal knows where Annihilation is. Rather, where Alistair is.
He's going to meet Annihilation, Jordan.
He might. He'll meet him in heaven, I think, because that round is going to go the way of Grayhound. 15-12. All right, they've run out of chances now, though, Grayhound. They cannot afford a mistake any longer.
Another IHC timeout here, giving a little bit of their own decision-making a chance. Gives a bit of a breath for Grayhound, you know. Using theirs early on, they can figure out how to get back into this one. That wasn't a great purchase by all means, but as you mentioned, Liazz on the MP9, giving a good old go to try and get them into OT now.
Yeah, money still doesn't look so crash hot for Grayhound. You've got a Famis out there for Vexite. You'd want everything you can get at this point if you're on the CT side. Alistair providing that opening with the AWP, and then again, Liazz just making something out of nothing. MP9 is all he had to play with. You know, 14 and 17 for Alistair, but to me it really feels like he's having more impact than that with the AWP.
Yeah. This is tied for the scoreline that Grayhound have ever gotten in terms of rounds against IHC. 16-12 is the best they've ever done.
Wasn't on Inferno, though. This is their best performance on Inferno so far, Grayhound.
Yep.
Against IHC.
That was Dust 2. 16-12.
Yep. Well, we'll see if there's going to be another 16-12 on offer for IHC. Vexite down to 1 HP, eliminated by Score. Pistols were doing a bit of work, but Sicko stands tall. Eventually falls.
Guns down, though. Ins. Gotta get a rotation over, a bit of damage done to Annihilation in the piece, but it's a bomb plant down. All members of IHC gotta tuck themselves in towards the site.
They haven't been able to get off the site, though, and that can be a little bit problematic. No ability to play from Banana. It's all from the same angle. Grayhound also have a lot of util to get back in for this retake, so it's very doable. That nade is going to go a little bit wayward. You'd like to see it land on top of Annihilation.
My Lord!
But Kabal, he brings it into his own, and it's done! IHC have won map 1. A stoic effort from Grayhound to keep it alive, but in the end, they just ultimately did not get enough done in their first half, and IHC will go through 1-0.